Hi, and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Karen Campbell with us. Karen is a grief counselor. So, Karen, why don't we start at the beginning? What is that?
So a grief counselor is someone who provides education and guidance through the grief process. We help people to understand what the grief process is and what is it that we grieve. How do we grieve, and the different aspects of grief, and the different acceptable ways of grief and disenfranchised grief. So acceptable ways is what we're used to and what people approve of in society, and disenfranchised is the way that's different. And many of us feel disenfranchised right now because of the events in the world. A lot of grief. Grief isn't just because of death, right? We don't just grieve the loss of death. We grieve the losses all through our lives. Transitions involve grief. So even moving from, a lot of people my age now are downsizing and then moving into smaller living accommodations. There's a lot of grief with that. You miss your neighbors, you miss your way of life. So they grieve.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm seeing it a lot right now because of everything that's happened. And, hey, I can't go on vacation this year because of what's happened. Hey, I haven't got to see my Grammy in 3 months because I'm afraid to go over. I don't want to make Grammy sick. So people are just really angry with all the uncertainty in the world. And that's part of grief, right?
It is. And what makes it worse for us is when we don't realize that we can grieve, that it's okay to grieve those losses, those transitions, those disappointments, because we have this idea that grief is just related to death. And it's not. It's anything that we had that now we've lost, or things that we can reasonably expect to have and they didn't happen. And the other part of grief, especially right now, because things are so stressful and things are going on that we feel out of control, it triggers other losses that we've had, that we've been carrying, that we didn't process. So there's a lot coming up. So it's not just that somebody asked you to wear a mask and you exploded. It's all the baggage that's included.
It is amazing how, like you said, it brings back the things we never dealt with in the past.
Sure.
It's like, oh, I wish this person was here to help me through this. Or, hey, I have people who have been working from home for months. And they're like, you know what? I just want to go sit with my friends and drink coffee like we did every day. We always had coffee together. And now, we can't do that. I'm like, yeah, you can use Zoom. But they're like, it's not the same. It's just like, I just want to sit across from Karen, and talk about what happened last night, or, hey, what'd you do this weekend? I just miss human interaction. I find especially a lot of my extrovert friends are going really, really upset because they're like, dude, I haven't hugged anyone in 3 months. Like, I miss people.
Very difficult on that.
It just, but I never really thought about that, and, because one of my friends said that, they're like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing okay. Why? They're like, because you're such an outgoing personality. You must be climbing the walls. I'm like, well, sort of, but, I have these types of outlets for me and stuff. So,
right. You have this network and you're very good with social media and all that. And a lot of people are not. I've gotten a lot better. I didn't have a Zoom account. Now I do. So that works, but it's a different energy.
Yep.
I do the grief counseling and I still have people online, but you don't give them that hug after. You're not really getting a sense of their whole being.
So is this something you can help people with if they're feeling, hey, I'm on edge? Because
yes.
I've had, some friends that like, you know what, I'm tired of fighting with my loved ones. And I know it's not Karen's fault. She's the only one here, so she's the only one I can yell at, You're like, one little thing happens and we blow it out of proportion.
It makes such a difference when people can just talk it out. And, you come to someone like myself, a counselor, and you don't have to worry about my feelings or any history we have. You're not walking on eggshells. You can just say it. And sometimes you're not sure what to say, and I can guide you with that. So I can ask you certain questions that helps to bring out where you're at. Lots of times when we're feeling overwhelmed, it's because we can't organize the thoughts that are coming at us. The most dangerous place is in our head.
Yes.
Our thoughts can be our worst enemies. So if we can, you air them out and you organize them and you can really take a good look at them, you feel better. You really do. I mean, it doesn't solve the world's problems, but it can help you to feel better about where you're at and managing your stress.
Personally, I found, talking to people that it's a lot worse now because we have too much time on our hands.
Well, so here's the deal. We have too much time on our hands and we're at home and we have to be with ourselves. And that can be really scary when you have to be with yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to look at your life and look at your relationships. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe there are changes that you need to make that you've been putting off, you've been avoiding, and you need to do that. A lot of people are really reevaluating their relationships right now.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it happened. I found I have had friends that their relationship has gotten stronger.
Yes.
Because, like I said, we've learned that we have to talk things out and, hey, it's going to be me and you for the next foreseeable future. So we got to deal with these things, because if not, it's going to be a long couple months and stuff. And other people that have just said, you know what, I found out, that, yeah, this isn't the person I want to go into retirement age with, So, I mean, unfortunately, it's been a little bit of both. So, Karen, how do people reach out to you? How do they learn more if they need help?
So I have a website. It's Grief Healing Connections. And I also have email. So Karen at griefhealingconnections.com. And my phone number. I can be reached on my cell phone, which is 978-866-0593. There's a lot of good to be found in the situation that we're in right now. And sometimes we need to talk it out to realize that. So
yep.
I'm here. I'm on Zoom.
Good. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to jump on the show with me. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you, Kevin. Oh, really good to see you, and be well, be safe, wear your mask.
You too, my friend. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.